Hi guys, welcome back TV Spoilers. Today I'm going to reveal to the audience an explosive plan between Victoria and Nick, working together to expose Matt's conspiracy, which will bring dramatic twist to the storyline. Victor helps Nick set a trap for Matt, the counter trap. Matt turns the tables. Matt, with his inherent cunning, anticipated Nick and Victoria's plan. He not only avoided the trap but also turned the tables, using Nick's own methods to trap Victoria in a dangerous situation, possibly involving the law or her business reputation. This forces Nick to reveal his drug addiction to save Victoria, causing serious consequences for both of them. Victoria has never been the type to easily show fear on her face, but this time, even the composure honed through countless power struggles begins to show cracks. She joined the plan with Nick not only to stop Matt before he caused further harm, but also because she understood all too well what it felt like to have her entire family dragged into a vortex orchestrated by someone who lived on hatred and manipulation. In Victoria's eyes, this wasn't simply a trap to force Matt to reveal himself. It was a desperate attempt to regain control, to prevent Newman from once again becoming the target of meticulously planned vile revenge. But the deeper she delved into the plan, the more terrifying she felt something beyond Matt's presence. The man standing beside her, her intelligent and strong younger brother, was silently crumbling from within. Nick tried to remain calm, maintaining a steady breathing rhythm, trying to keep his gaze steady as he discussed with Victoria every step, every possible scenario, every escape route if Matt reacted unexpectedly. Outwardly, he was still the Nick of the years when he had bravely protected his family amidst endless crisis. But beneath that exterior lay a body slowly being worn down by his dependence on painkillers. Every decision he made was now shrouded in a thin veil of physical pain and simmering shame. He didn't just want to catch Matt. He wanted to prove that he hadn't broken down, that he could still stand up and be a support for his family when they needed him. This very need to be strong at all cost pushed him into a greater danger, because the more he tried to hide, the more he lost the ability to see things with a completely clear head. Nick and Victoria's plan, at first glance, was sophisticated enough to make anyone believe that Matt would eventually slip up. They didn't act impulsively. They orchestrated a series of calculated situations, gradually dropping signals that they believed Matt would fall for. It all built on the belief that Matt, however cunning, would eventually be drawn into what he craved most: the feeling of victory and the power to control the fears of others. Victoria used the cold, calculating mind of a business leader to strategize, while Nick used his understanding of Matt's sinister nature to predict his reactions. But their biggest mistake lay in that very confidence. They thought they were hunting a cornered beast, when in reality, Matt never stopped seeing them both as the perfect prey for a flawless counterattack. After escaping conviction, Matt didn't make a fuss. He appeared just enough for others to think he was hiding, but in fact, he simply reverted to his most familiar way of existing: silent, cold, patient, and haunting. He watched Nick and Victoria with a terrifying persistence, not with the haste of a fugitive, but with the glee of someone who knew he had time, and time was always the best ally of those who preyed on weakness. Matt observes the rhythm, the intervals between their encounters, the tension on Victoria's face, the wary, hidden look in Nick's eyes. He wasn't just looking at the actions. He read the wariness. He saw the price of pressure, and then he discovered the fatal flaw. Nick was no longer the Nick who was completely in control of himself. Nick's painkiller addiction didn't erupt in an easily recognizable way. It didn't come as a dramatic collapse in the living room or a clear moment of unconsciousness that would immediately call the problem. It emerged more subtly, more insidiously, more frighteningly. It was the longer than usual silences when he needed to react, the inexplicable restlessness at subtle changes. It was a sudden fit of anger followed by a heavy silence. It was a series of seemingly rational decisions, but beneath the surface lay the signs of someone dependent on something that soothed their pain. Victoria sensed something was amiss, but she chose to focus on the trap being set. Partly because she believed Nick was still in control, and partly because she didn't want to believe a truth that was too dangerous. This hesitation gave Matt more room to get closer. It doesn't need a lot of dramatic events to create a breathtaking feeling. The brilliance lies in Matt's plot twist, which not only derails the plan but also exposes pre-existing cracks in Nick and Victoria. A counterattack trap is only truly terrifying when it doesn't simply target actions, but strikes at the weakest point in a person's heart. And here, what haunts the viewer most isn't how clever Matt is, but the fact that the Newman family has been so deeply wounded that a single placed push is enough to shake the entire system. This feeling makes the story heavier, darker, and much deeper, as if each character is fighting not only the enemy in front of them, but also the most fragile version of themselves.